So in the last couple months, there's been a lot of high-profile deportation cases that have been covered in the news under the Trump administration. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I have some really big problems with the discourse that's going on. This is not just discourse and language from the right wing, right? We already know that stuff is super racist, super xenophobic. But my problem is actually more with, or my problem is also with the liberal side, the left liberals, the progressives, and the arguments they're using to against these deportations. I keep hearing two big things. One is, oh, people who don't even have criminal records are getting deported. That's a big problem. They don't even have a criminal record. They shouldn't be deported. And the second thing I keep hearing about is due process, due process. We need due process. This person didn't have due process. They shouldn't get removed. And I have some big comments about this because I think these arguments are actually hurting immigrants more than they are helping, right? Quick disclaimer, I am obviously a Canadian immigration lawyer, but a lot of what I have to say and a lot of what I've witnessed practicing immigration law should apply also to what's going on in the States. Now first, this argument about due process. Due process is bullshit. Really what due process is meant to do is meant to give kind of like the feeling that things are being done properly and legally. It kind of couches was otherwise a very violent process behind the law. And I can tell you, people are deported all the time to their death, even with due process. And why is that the case? Well, because to prove that your country is dangerous or not, that's actually a very hard thing to do. And the other thing is also, a lot of people, for instance, might be considered to be security risks. And these are black and brown people, right? So even when you undergo due process, people are getting deported all the time, right? Bringing due process will not stop very violent deportations. In fact, all it might do is give the sense that when there is due process, things are absolutely fine. That's just not the case. People who undergo due process are absolutely getting deported to El Salvador. I can tell you that for sure. And the second thing is this argument around criminality. You know, Trump says these illegal people, these illegals, that's his language, are criminals. And the response from the liberal side is, they're not criminals, they shouldn't be removed. Well, first of all, who's a criminal or not, that's determined by the law, and the law changes all the time. The second thing is also that a lot of people have criminal records because they engaged in a plea deal, not being aware that that could lead to their deportation, even though they didn't commit the crime. But third and finally, even if you have a criminal record, you shouldn't be deported to your death. If you steal a loaf of bread to feed your family, that shouldn't automatically mean that you're going to get sent to El Salvador because you have a criminal record in the United States. So anyways, let's stop this language around due process and criminality. Let's work to actually destroy the system that leads to deportations itself. Thank you.